Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast with your hosts, Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug. Today we've got a special guest with us. But first off, I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our sponsors, Big Belly Cafe in Webster, Massachusetts, as well as Reed's Archery down in Middleborough, as well as also in Virginia. Also want to give a shout out to the Veterans Development Corporation. Without these sponsors, it's definitely a hard time, but it's definitely, I appreciate them all passing everything out and helping us out, as well as our other sponsors that we have for the track day for veterans. We have Cornerstone Bank, we have Dudley House of Pizza, and then we also have LVJ Trailers. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to all of them, and then introduce Mikele Buck with Mikele Buck Band. And so I'm going to have him just go take it away and give us a little background of who he is and what he does.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
We had a pretty long talk before we got started, so that was fun. Mikele Buck, I'm a singer-songwriter, independent country music artist, currently based out of eastern North Carolina, a little town called Greenville, where ECU Pirates are. So that's where we based out of, and we played 17, 18 states this past couple of years, and got to do some cool shows with bands like Randy Rodgers Band, Wade Bowen. We've done just did a big show with Justin Moore in Huntington, West Virginia, out in North Dakota with I think that I say Granger Smith and Lone Star about a year or two back. So just putting out records and writing songs and trying to get people to listen to my music and enjoying the road, as hard as it is sometimes.
Absolutely.
Prior military, fought in Iraq and with the Army, 1st Cav Division, 458th Combat Engineer Battalion. A long time ago, it seems like now. Father of 3 daughters, and I have a beautiful wife named Allison, and I am a bow hunting addict for whitetails. That's
Nice.
pretty much it in a nutshell. Like trout fishing and bass fishing, outdoorman. I love being in the wild,
Yeah. What kind of, I got to ask, because you said bow hunting. What kind of bow do you have?
Well, I have my, this is my Matthews Verdicts, but I've got the lift, just came in, so I got the new lift. I got the lift 33 with the 80-pound mods.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I haven't picked it up yet. I've been waiting for it. I shoot. I'm left-eye dominant, so I shoot left-handed.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
of course, I ordered it. I think I ordered it the exact same color specs as this one to match my verdicts. I love this bow. It's been one of my favorite bows ever. The Matthews verdicts, and it's been such a good bow that they've come out with new models and everything like that. And
because
I couldn't pull the trigger on. I had the Halon 4 before this, and I got the verdicts after, and or the Halon 6. I'm sorry, and I got the verdicts after, and so now I got the lift in the 33.
Because I just got. Actually, I don't.
You got the American flag strings.
Yep.
Which one is that one? That's the. Your background's blurring it up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. That's what kills it. It's a mission.
You got the mission? It's a damn good bow. Yeah.
And
I can't remember who makes it.
It's made. It's just made with Matt. It's a Matthews setup.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mission's made by Matthews. That's right.
Yeah.
I was wondering what. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they. I've been a Matthews guy for years. I've shot. Never bought like. Once I got a Matthews, man, I just never really switched. I shot other bows at the shop stuff when I could, just to see. And I've shot next to dudes with Bowtech or Hoyt or, and just my opinion, the Matthews is just way quieter.
Yeah.
I stick with a brand, dude. It's not the Bowtechs, Hoyts, but Prime. They're all awesome bows, dude. They're all like top tier. It's like Corvette, Mustang. They're the top tier bows, and even Bear's new design. The Bears makes a hell of bows. I mean, you can't really necessarily go wrong. Whichever one you pick, just go get one and go bow hunt. It's so much, especially for veterans.
Absolutely.
It ain't about how big a buck you kill. It's about strapping on a pack, and I'm a saddle hunter, of course. A saddle hunter's got to say they're a saddle hunter. I'll still do a tree stand if it makes sense. I'm not stuck to it, but it's just such a awesome setup for mobile hunting, and they make some really good, like I think bee stands, and Lone Wolf makes some killer stands. But I've got I had the tethered, and I had the Eberhardt system. I like the 2-panel better. Then I ended up getting the it's another saddle company. They make a 2-panel saddle.
Yeah.
For life of me, I can't remember. It's they're getting up there with tethered now. They're making some really good stuff, and so I settled on that one, and I love it, man. It's a perfect saddle.
Yeah.
I got all kind of different climbing sticks that I use. I usually keep 5 or 6 pair. I've got the tethered ones. I've got the Skeletors, which are my favorite. I like them over the ones, and I've got the same saddle I got. Why the hell can I remember the name? I got a set of their real lightweight sticks, and they're really good. They got some flaws, but they're pretty good lightweight sticks. So do a lot of public. I've got some permission properties that I whitetail hunt, but I do it 24/7, dude. I went scouting in a piece public the other day with a good friend of mine I grew up with. We scouted. We seen 6 bucks, found a couple good bedding areas and stuff like that. Went on this public and just scoured for the time we had and saw 6 bucks. And there was probably a 140 class already in velvet. And there's other 3 for public land bucks. Probably would have went 110, 110, 110. You know what I mean? So there's.
Yeah.
So I was like, we saw them. I was getting excited. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So in Carolina, Carolina starts early September.
Yeah.
I usually hunt Carolina, hunt West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. I was supposed to go to Missouri this year. I don't think I'm going to get to go. I had a show lined up for it.
Yeah.
And then the guy switched the festival dates and ended up not being able to do that festival out there. But it was on the start of bow season, so I was just going to fly out and do an acoustic show.
Yeah.
Or drive out and then just take my week and hunt Missouri. I still might go do it because I already had plans to do it, so I still might just drive out to Missouri and hunt public.
Have you
still get it over?
Have you taken a look of there's a group, I don't know if you know about it. It's called the Fallen Outdoors.
Yeah. I've actually played a couple little things for these guys down in Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my a good friend
Yeah.
of mine.
My problem with that is we have so every year I hunt Pennsylvania with all my guys within my, but not everybody, but ones we like to bow hunt. A buddy of ours that was over there, he's got a camp up there, and it just came to this tradition. And I've killed one little scrub eight. I killed a real nice like 17.5 inch wide 7-point on public, and then I stuck a 140 with a damn Sever broadhead and lost it.
Yeah.
And then I threw away my expandables.
Yeah.
Because that was the third buck I lost on expandables with no penetration, no nothing. So, but I did just buy the beast from Bowmar.
Yeah.
I mean, he's putting them through water buffaloes, bud. That'll shred through a whitetail. And all I want is a pass through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hug the shoulder. I'm not a big, like, I'm sure you're in bow hunt, so you hear this whole heavy versus light.
Yeah.
I do it like a rifle. I try to get my bow and build an arrow that bow shoots the best, tightest grouping, right? So if you're a 29.5, 30 inch draw length, you're going to have a heavier arrow anyway.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not like a huge FOC guy, but I do believe you need it. Some. You don't just need a standard insert with a 100 grain broadhead, 400 grain arrow shooting out of a 27 inch draw length, 55 pound bow with a rage on it. Think you're going to put a hole in a deer. It just don't work.
Yeah. No, I've
had more buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm at like 20, I think 28.5, 29. And I think mine's at 50, 56 or 57 or something like that.
Yeah. I'm shooting that one right there. I think that's a 30 inch axle. It could be 29. I think it's 30 though. Shooting a 29.5 inch draw length. I shoot the thumb button.
Yeah.
And I was shooting last year. I killed in West Virginia. It's pretty close to PNY, but it was an older buck. Year before last, it was pretty close to PNY. Shot him with that heavier, like a 140, 150 grain, or 540, 550 grain, and I was using 75 grain insert outsert with the 100 grain Magnus Stinger broadheads, and I had those things flying like darts. And then I messed around. I was shooting Eastons, and I went to the RIP PKOs or whatever. I'm probably gonna switch back because Easton's made in America. I thought these were, but they're not. And I try to buy all American products if I can. I don't order shit off Amazon or nothing. I try to buy, especially with certain things. My music instruments, I buy American-made brands, made in America, but the parts are all China. You know what I mean? I understand all that, but I just try. So Stingers are made in America. Bowmars, I'm pretty sure are made in America. So I just got those. There's a ton of American-made braziers. I think is an American brand. So I just try to do that. And arrows, Eastern are made here.
Yeah.
So, but I think the black, what are they called? Victories. They're making a cool ass arrow now, so I might try those out for next season. But I went down to my arrows with 518, 75 grain insert outsert, and I went to a 125 grain broadhead, and it lowered because I went to those different arrows, and I went to a more micro diameter, and shot the two, and at longer distance, I'm still over 500 grains, still shooting a cut on contact, and I haven't hunted with the beast mechanicals for Bowmar yet, but I'm going to give them a shot. But I've hunted with Rage, Dead Meat, Sever, which was horrible, worst broadhead I ever used. And I tried the Grim Reaper, and I got a pass through on one of those.
Really?
Out of a 540 some odd grain arrow.
Yeah.
I didn't get a pass through with any of those things, and lost $3. I've never lost one with a cut on contact. And look, I know guys kill them all the time with Rage. I'm not saying I'm just saying what my bow shoots best.
Yeah.
And what I feel more comfortable with.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you use. You know what I mean? It's not mine. But some guys like to argue over it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care that much. But like, I just know I'm more comfortable putting my arrow and giving them a hole on each side.
Yeah.
Than my arrow going in 10, 12 inches, and they either bleed to death. They either bleed so bad then you find them, or you don't find them at all.
Yeah.
And I was just having it where I wasn't finding them.
Yep.
I tracked one for 80 yards and knew I killed it. It stuck in the offside shoulder on a dead meat, which that could happen too. That could happen to a fixed blade sometimes too. But hey, I looked at it near 4 hours, took a break, got something to eat. I was hunting behind my house in Carolina. I was a bit back there, a couple thousand yards back on this piece of property.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I know he's dead. I stuck him money shot, dude. I mean, white OV all day long. It's a dead deer. And he made it 80 yards. I finally found him up under some like holly tree thickets.
Yeah.
No, I tracked him to where he was kicking up the, I went back to where the arrow was and got on my hands and knees and saw every little kick up of pine straw. There's a lot of pine down there. So every little kick up of it, and followed him back, finally seen the white of his ass underneath the brush. I had walked by him several times. Not one drop of blood. And as it was expandable.
Wow.
I lost 140 inch with a sever, 140 inch plus buck, public land, right, in Pennsylvania. Stuck him money with that sever.
Yeah.
Got it on film. If you don't believe me, stuck him money. We tracked that deer for 1.5 miles, finding 10 drops of blood. I don't think it opened. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened, but it never found the arrow. It was stuck in him. When he ran off, it was too much arrow sticking out. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I listened. He didn't crash. As a matter of fact, after he ran off, I filmed another Pope and Young, probably 120s, 130s.
Yeah.
Got him on film coming right underneath me. Could have killed another. I was just on the bucks that week. Man, it was a good week.
Yeah.
What I was putting into work, dude, I was hiking up these cattail swamps on the top of the mountain ridges and too thick, coming up and just finding a sign and hunting it. I was, it was a fun hunt. I got on, and I seen a bigger buck than that one that week. I seen probably 150 plus, and just got back in this drainage where it's high in Alleghenies, and got in this drainage and it starts this beaver swamp where the creeks run out.
Yeah.
Beavers got dammed up. It's kind of marshy, cattails in there and stuff, even though you're at high elevation, and it's pretty huge, and there's beaver ponds in there and stuff like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's just back there.
Yeah.
It's just back there. It's thick to get to, thick, nasty, but man, every time I go back in there, I find sign, and I find big sign.
Yeah, I mean that's what but that's what it's about. It's getting back there and be able to relax.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. I was like, if you're a veteran, man, and you're looking for like a purpose, a mission to do, man, it once I got back into bow hunting, when I got back from the war, I didn't hunt for a while, and then I shot a few with a rifle, get some meat in the freezer.
Yeah.
It just didn't do that. It did nothing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just got back in, bought a bow. I was like, man, I'd like to have a bow. Got to where, I was finally, getting a little bit ahead with everything, so I could afford a new, I bought a used bow.
Yeah.
And just I fell back in love with it, probably about 6 years ago now, and I've already killed 3 Pope and Youngs. I've got to get them officially scored, but the last year I killed a 135 plus, and that's green scores, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's probably low 130s green score, but that's another Pope and Young on the wall from just, Yeah. And I hunt hard. I love it. I love having that. Like I scout. It's just, dude, if I could make $50,000 a year hunting, I might write a song or two a year, and you know what I mean. But I love it that much. My wife's like, "Do you love bow hunting or playing music?" I said, "I love both the same." She's like, "What about me?" I said, "You're in there too."
Yeah, you're in between. You're in between them.
But yeah, it's and I love that. I love when we went smallmouth fishing the other day.
Yeah.
We're planning to go. I love fishing. I love. We went out and a buddy of mine took me out in the ocean. We caught king Spanish mackerel and bonita and stuff. Had a just good day trolling out on the out by the Shackelford Islands out in Morehead City.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff, man. I'm not a huge duck hunter. I don't really like party hunting like that. I love turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Anytime I can be in the mountain, anytime I can be in the mountains or the outdoors, or take a float trip down to Guadalupe in Texas and see all that. I'm down for the outdoors. So,
yeah. I took my wife out fishing for the first time. We went deep sea fishing, and we went out of New Hampshire, up in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Went out to the Gulf of Maine, and we were out there, and I said, let's see who catches the first fish. Lo and behold, I catch a dogfish, and then I catch another dogfish, and I'm like, what the hell? And my wife then pulls up this big fucking haddock, and I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, this is my first time fishing. And I said, I know. And I'm like, you're bringing home the dinner, and I've got to cook the dinner now.
Yeah.
But no,
I've never been up in the waters up in there. I'm not a big deep sea. They do the Big Rock tournament down close to where I live, and I play a couple of venues down there in Carolina, and the Big Rock thing's a big thing. And I've gone out there to the Gulf Stream, and but dude, I don't like not seeing land. I got some phobias, you know what I mean? And that's one of them. I have a phobia of the ocean so bad, and I'll go out there and I can get through it, but like, man, if it gets a little rough, I get like, whoo.
It was rough. It was rough seas, because I'll tell you.
I can't do that, man.
There was a handful.
I don't get motion sickness. It's just I can't see land. I'm like, man, a Castaway. You ever seen Castaway? Hell no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get stuck in that shit. Hell no.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know you got Mayday calls and everything like that. I said, yeah, but there's still people lost at sea all the time. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. No.
People make fun of me about it. They're like, it's like there's sharks and shit in that damn thing. I grew up in the mountains of West Virginia. We have bass, trout, and muskie and stuff, and there ain't no alligators and poisonous water snakes up here, and damn sharks and whatever the hell else out there. Yeah, the ocean ain't my bag, bro. I'm not about it.
Yeah, no, we did.
I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy it, but like I ain't going way out there. I like seeing land.
Yeah, we were out there. We didn't have any cell service, no nothing. But it was good. It was good. But we ended up. She caught some haddock. We caught some pollock, and then we caught a bunch of cod, which during this time of the year you can't keep it. Don't matter what size or anything.
Are they called pollocks or are they pollocks?
I think they're pollocks, but I call it pollock because they look stupid. No, nothing wrong with that. But it was all good. It was all good. We even got one guy got a big. They call it a dumpster, like a dumpster fish or something, but it's called a gus. And
that's northern. That's considered northern Atlantic up there, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot colder water, I think, than down there. Because from Carolina, like the Outer Banks, I'm not sure how it works. I think it moves with the tide or whatever like that. But the Gulf Stream, especially during the Blue Rock, it's only like 20 miles off, 25 or something like miles off the coast.
Yeah.
I've been out there in it, and it's like you see the water change, and it's pretty cool. And that's where they catch big. But it's warmer water down there, so I don't know if the fish species are the same or not. But I also don't know down where we're at. It's like king mackerel, tuna, the bonita, It's more like your warm. I don't know if that's warm climate fish. I know like halibut stuff live in Alaska where it's colder and stuff.
Yeah, no, you get. You get some red. You get tuna and stuff like that. But I know down.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I've watched. I think there are some cold water fish. I think, but like I've never been up there. I don't know much. Like I said, deep sea fishing ain't my bag. So I can name you a few fish that are out there, but.
I do, but I also do like river fishing. So I get like catfish, flounder, stuff like that, bass. Off the Ponce Inlet down in Daytona, it would be like going to get, what the hell was it? I can't even fucking think of it now. But we would go crabbing too. You would take a friggin' piece of chicken on a string and toss it in.
Oh yeah, we can do that. People do that down south, and there's crabbing industry. People run crab pots and stuff for like little blue crab and stuff.
Yeah,
I've actually went out with a guy and pulled some pots. Man, that's hard work.
Yeah.
They do it like on a flat bottom John skiff or something like that,
Yeah.
And man, it ain't easy, man. Them guys out there crabbing, making a living.
No, and
They got their little industrial license, and some of them run a bunch of box, some of them run a little bit of box, just like you see out in the Bering Sea. But it's just like in the sounds and stuff. It's in the rivers and stuff. Yeah, I've caught them on fishing poles before.
Oh yeah, no, you
see
can
them grab something, just
absolutely.
Yeah, I've never been. So, are you a Patriots fan?
Not really. I've grew up as a Dolphins.
Yeah,
because it was when Dan Marino was around.
Oh yeah,
Cox and a few other. But then I enjoy watching the Patriots, but I kind of don't sometimes because I don't want to keep seeing them win 24/7.
Yeah. Well, they ain't doing it now. But
no, they're not.
I'm a Steelers fan, so I hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to beat that man, dude. It was hard to beat Belichick and Brady, but it was hard to beat him. That's a damn good football team.
Yep.
And you can say what you want about him. He's the GOAT, bro.
He is, and unfortunately,
and go as far as Super Bowl rings and stuff like that. If I had to pick a team, I'm still picking Elway or Montana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still picking them. I just think they were better all around quarterbacks. I think they had a toughness that Brady didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think Brady's got the numbers. He's got most rings and everything like that. He's officially the GOAT. But like, especially when he went to another team and did it again, that was impressive. I know he got to he picked the defense. That was an awesome defense. Was smart on his part because Peyton Manning did the same thing.
Yeah.
He went to Denver and they had the number one defense. That's what, if you're a quarterback looking for a job, you want a good defense, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, especially at the end of your career, you ain't got to put up 30, 40 points. You can put up,
you can put up 20 points and still win the game. Be 20-3 or whatnot.
Good for them. That was smart on their part, man. I don't blame them a bit. And we had I'm a Pittsburgh fan, so we had a great quarterback for a long time. A lot of people like to hate on him. Roethlisberger, to me, was top 5 quarterback of all. He's top 10 of all time. I can tell you that right now.
What college?
He was a great quarterback.
What college team? Huh? What college team?
WVU, West Virginia University. I live in Greenville, so when they're playing somebody, I root for ECU. I've got a lot of guys that I've known over the years because that's where our band's based out of, and a lot of the fraternities and sororities and stuff. Good old country boys from Eastern Carolina and NC State kids and stuff. They've helped put us out there. They've helped share our music they still sing every word to every song, and that's what started growing our fan base was those college kids around Eastern Carolina. So I like to see State win a game. I like to see NC State win a game. Out of Carolina football teams, State's my team. Yeah. But if they're playing WVU, I don't want them to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll pull for Marshall too. I mean, but they play WVU. I don't want them. You know what I mean? It's just West Virginia, and I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
See,
through hardcore.
I'm a Bama or Ole Miss.
It's funny because I never wanted. I wanted to play for West Virginia growing up, but like I always thought of going to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They just had. I played. I would have played mostly defense, but I loved running the football too. I liked the bus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame was always known for like power running.
Yep.
It was just where I wanted to go play fullback, and just what I mean, and but I've always WU football. It's the home state. You just feel you have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a fan of their coach, and they've not past 6-7 years has been kind of disappointing for us as far as football because we're usually ranked.
Yeah.
Past couple of years we have not been because I think it's coaching, but you have bad years and good times, but
absolutely.
I'm not looking forward to this season with Pittsburgh. It's like I'm not I don't think either one of those quarterbacks they picked up is worth a shit. And I think that I don't think they gave Rudolph or Kenny Pickett a fair chance. I'm one of those guys.
I don't think Patriots are going to have a good season, but again,
Yeah, I don't think they gave Mac Jones a fair shot.
no, they shit on him.
I think Mac Jones, if he goes somewhere, which I think he did, I think if he ever gets another shot, I think he could have something. I just don't think I think he might be, wasn't a good system. And sometimes that doesn't work for a quarterback.
Yeah.
They'll go a place and just stink it up, and then they'll go another place and take teams to Super Bowls. We've seen it happen 100 times, you know what I mean? And Kurt Warner, he stunk it up with the Giants, went to the Rams like second string, ended up being, Super Bowl champion, then goes to Arizona, almost does it again.
Jimmy G did it. Jimmy G did it. He's doing very well. Again, it's
Kirk Cousins. Washington should have never let him go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think few and far between do you have a guy come to your team like a Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger or Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow. Those are every year in the NFL. There's only 3 or 4 quarterbacks that are like legit Hall of Fame quarterback if they keep going. Patrick Mahomes Hall of Fame. Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger's Hall of Fame. You look at that class. Drew Brees is Hall of Fame. You look at the guy from the Chargers.
I know the Seattle was Russell Wilson, but I don't know
he's
what
at Steelers.
Which I don't know
Steelers,
what.
Man.
Yeah, but which I don't know what. Again, what happened with him?
I think he needed a reality check.
Is that?
I think he went full on. I'm a superstar because he started marrying. He got with that chick that he was with, and she's famous for pretty much fucking every rapper and NFL quarterback. She's been with Cam Newton, a bunch of rappers and shit, and he gets with her and thinks he's a fucking man for marrying a whore, and when he went to Denver, it's like you're hearing stories about him now. That's why I didn't want him.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's humbled down, because I think last year at Denver he got humbled. You know what I mean? I think he might have needed. I think he might have some good football. I like Russell Wilson. NC State guy, went to Wisconsin, man. I always rooted for Russell Wilson, man. He got a big head there for a while, I think. And
I think it was right off
but
the bat.
we got him. Pittsburgh got a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, or at least he was. I don't think it's a physical thing with him. I think mentally he just was not concentrating on the game. And we got him for like $1.8 million.
Yeah.
Because the Denver paid to get rid of him. Then we traded like a 6th round draft pick for Justin Fields, who's horrible, out of Chicago. Yeah, he's athletic and he can throw the football, but he also turned the ball over 50 times in 3 years. But yet they say it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett comes in, doesn't even start, comes into a horrible offensive line, a horrible, horrible offensive coordinator in Matt Canada, the worst offensive coordinator in football. Then gets the next year's start, and here's the thing: he won games.
Yeah.
His stats sucked. His stats sucked because the team sucked. But he didn't turn the damn ball over, and I think he had a hell of a lot more potential than a guy who's been with Chicago for 3 years with the same circumstances, but turned the ball over 50 times.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't get it. And then Mason Rudolph comes in at the end of the year and is a top-ranked quarterback over a 4-game stretch. At the end of the year, he's number 1 quarterback ranked. And played good football, solid football. And you offer him, Pittsburgh apparently offered him a deal and then reneged on it, traded him to Tennessee, or he signed with Tennessee. Yeah. And then they told Pickett he had a chance to compete with the job, but they brought Russell Wilson in, and he was apparently fine with that. But then they said, we're bringing Justin Fields in too. He's like, just go ahead and trade me.
Yeah.
I don't blame the kid. You know what I mean? He's like, I got a winning record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a shit offensive line and a shit offensive coordinator. The line got a little bit better last year because we drafted the hell of a guy out of Alabama. Yeah. Georgia. Georgia is where he's from. But, yeah. I can go on football all day long if you want to keep going. Football bow hunting.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, be it bow hunting, fishing, football, you name it, even racing. I enjoy it, but I want to get into some of the questions with you.
Yeah, man.
You know what would first got you inspired to writing music?
Well, like I said, I grew up in West Virginia, and my mom, her family, they all played and sang. The sisters, everybody knew how to play an instrument. So they got that Uncle Bob that could play anything with strings. My great granddaddy Cantrell was a hell of a banjo player, and all the daughters sang. My grandma Ruby sang. All her sisters sang. All my mom's sisters sang. You know, we're in rural West Virginia, and you know, I'm 44 years old. I was born in '79, so I was a kid in the early '80s. You know, growing up like 4, 5, 6 years old, running around my great granddaddy's yard with the other little toddlers, and hearing 6, 7 part bluegrass and gospel on the front porch every weekend. You know what I mean? And my mom played. Of course, she was, you know, when she was in the 60s and 70s, when she was young, you know, had us in the 70s when she was like 22, 23, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was into Joan Baez and you know, all the folky songwriters back in the hippie days, and she loved country music. She loved, you know, the Judds and, you know, all the 70s and 80s country stars. She loved that stuff. She loved Reba, you know. So then my dad's family doesn't play a thing, can't carry a tune in a bucket, but my dad's a, you know, hardworking man, rode Harleys and stuff, and he loves Southern rock and you know, certain kind of country. Like, he just likes music, you know, but Southern rock was big. And I started playing drums in high school when I was in my room jamming out to Ozzy's band. I'm going to get help from musicians friends. What's Ozzy's first band?
Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah.
Is it No. Wait.
No, he was in I mean, he was famous in the 70s. His band, I don't know why it slipped my mind. Damn Marijuana. Anyway, they sang Iron Man and War Pigs. And are you Googling it right now?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to think.
It's, as soon as you see it, I'm going to know it. It's like Black Sabbath. Duh,
yeah,
I already got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Literally just popped up.
I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have smoked a joint today.
It's okay.
And I may or may not do that all day, every day. But, best medicine for veterans, brother. Psilocybin and marijuana.
No, and
best medicine.
I wish I could do with that. But with holding my CDL license, it's what kills me. It's like,
well, here's the thing. You know, and I know there's a shit ton of veteran movements to fix this, and they're making some headway with the microdosing and legalizing marijuana for PTSD, you know, veterans and first responders and stuff like that, because it absolutely works. It's been proven it works, and I'm not saying walk around and be a pothead all day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to take SSRIs, and you know, you get off your ass and start working out again, start, you know, overcoming, you know, bullshit, which we all had to do. We all had to, hey, I gotta, you know, take care of myself mentally and physically. And if I don't get off my ass and do something physical, like hunting or like going to work out or like going outdoors and fishing or doing something productive, maybe you're a woodworker or something, find something and do it, and take your mind off that shit. And if you still need help, a little microdosing does wonders, and marijuana does wonders. So.
It's the shit that they have you on that, like, for instance, you know, again, I'm on.
Oh, dude, I was a walking fucking zombie.
I am.
And I knew I was so chemically off when they gave me that shit. I was so off, dude. Like, and I don't take them. I take one thing to help me sleep. Sometimes I'll get insomnia for a few days, and you know, it's just part of. Sometimes it's like that, and a lot of it, my schedule too. You know, I play a lot of late nights, and I'm on the road, so you know, getting a good night's sleep when I'm not playing is hard. So I do take one thing, because I'll battle with insomnia bouts, and I take it when I need it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And man, they had me on all kind of shit.
No,
And I was like, I'm not depressed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need an antidepressant. I'm not depressed. I know what depression feels like. And I'm not saying you're not. I wasn't a little bit, but it was more the other symptoms that was making me that way.
Yeah.
And PTSD is not just one symptom, and it's not the same for everybody. So
No, it's not.
but I'll tell every veteran what does work, and I mean this wholeheartedly. And I think it's a truth that I've said before, and maybe some veterans are going to hate me. But I have, guys messing me, and we try to talk to each other and everything like that. But you look on their Facebook, and they still got pictures of them in Iraq up.
Mm-hmm.
Every shirt they own's a 9-line or some military shit because they still want to be affiliated. And then you're complaining, oh man, I'm just having a bad. Well, get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
Stop reminding of yourself. If it's that bad for you, stop reminding yourself daily of it, and realize, hey man, I'm a truck driver now. I'm a crane operator now. I'm a damn good at my job, and I'm lucky. I'm here. I'm living life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to fucking get this mindset, and you have to say, do you want to forget about it? Do you want to move on, or do you want to fucking dwell on the shit? Because that starts with you. It starts with you. I'm not saying you won't have bad days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all have bad days. I didn't see as much as some dudes over there, and I've seen more than a lot of others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm no Chris Cal but we all need to, if you're struggling a little bit, you need to go talk to somebody. You need to go try to figure out ways to cope. I just think antidepressants, SSRIs, I personally think it contributes to 22 a day commit suicide.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the answer. Nobody's talking about it because pharmaceuticals want to shove it down your fucking throat because they make money from it.
Yeah.
And it's a truth. It's a hard truth, and I'll argue anybody against that fucking shit because I lost a buddy as soon as he got on him. He fucking committed suicide. When I got on him, I had suicide. More suicidal thoughts than I ever fucking did.
Yeah.
Right? Made an attempt one time unknowingly.
Yeah.
Just went on a drinking binge, drank a bottle of Jameson, and swallowed a bunch of Klonopin. And didn't know I did it. And I was like, I ain't taking that shit no more, man. So I'm wholeheartedly for the legalization of it for veterans, man.
I
am
am.
off on a rant.
No,
It's on a rant about it, you know what I mean? But
no, it's fine because that's what it's about. It's again, there's so many things that that's out there. Medication, pharmaceuticals are pushing it down more and more of our throats and saying that we need to take it.
It's sad, man. I mean, they did the same with Oxycontin and shit. They tore that shit tore rural Appalachia apart with the coal mining communities. You got so many fucking miners and construction workers hooked on pain pills, and they knew they were doing it. And the pharmaceutical companies got off scot-free, and they're still doing it with SSRIs to veterans, and they're getting off scot-free. And I just want people to know that fuck them, you don't have to take it.
Yeah. No.
And the hard part is some of them help some people.
Yeah.
But you just can't throw them willy-nilly like everybody. You know what I mean? You can't just. It's a mental health thing. So it starts with the mind, and alternate with chemicals is unnatural chemicals is not working.
Yeah.
But it's proven that psilocybin, and even people are going to do DMT and stuff, which is available.
Yeah.
Psychedelics for PTSD, and it's proven by some of the most decorated war veterans, like Marcus Luttrell, like so many others. They've all. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say. I'm pretty sure Mark has done it. But anyway, a lot of hardcore special forces guys that were or infantry guys or guys that just seen shit. There's been a ton of veterans do it, and they're like, I don't have no more nightmares. I'm having better days. You know what I mean? And it's fucking proven by veterans for veterans. So I don't need some fucking pharmaceutical company telling me, no, it doesn't work. Bullshit, it doesn't fucking work. I believe the veterans, and I believe the science behind it, because the doctors who started doing it have to flee to Mexico because they fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, see, I've got mine coming up, which is I'm going to go see Dr. James Lynch, Cellular Institute, and it's SGB treatment. It's a shot that goes into your neck. It's a reset for your fight or flight. Doesn't mean that you get off of all your medications, but it gets you to a point where I'm not on all the medications, because again, it's some of these medications, I'll tell you, they screw with you so bad. I don't want to be on gabapentin. I don't want to be on any of that shit. I don't want to be on Prozocin.
Well, gabapentin is more of a nerve blocker. I use gabapentin because I got sciatica so bad.
Yeah.
And it's not never messed with. But like I said, the right medicine for the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why they got you. They gave you gabapentin for.
They gave me gabapentin for anxiety and depression. They got me on Prozocin, citrulline, and then they got me on 150 milligrams of trazodone for the night.
Yeah, I did trazodone with it. This.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's they got me on that, and it's like Jesus Christ, it's like so much. But that's why, again, now I'm going to go through this SGB treatment and get that squared away. Again, it's what everybody, some people have said that works for them. Until they make it legalized, and I think it has to be more federal legalized for us as truck drivers that hold the CDL license. Until they do that, it puts us in the bind where it's like, all right, but it is what it is. I know you're not the first one. Yeah, probably not even the 30th person that's told me about it.
No, I mean, I've been on a few other veteran podcasts and we've talked about it, and the research has been out there. I did when I went back to school, I had to write a paper on a controversial topic, and he's like, it can't be this, and weed was one of them. So I messaged my professor, and I was like, because he said it was too broad.
Yeah. If
you chose a topic like that, break it down into one. So I did, legalize the marijuana for PTSD victims.
Yeah.
And I didn't. We didn't smoke joints in high school. You know what I mean? And then every once in a while, party. Then I went to work and stuff, so you couldn't do it. So we just go out and get drunk instead and be a fucking total idiot.
Yeah.
And which is really what a fucking veteran needs, is a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's where I'm sitting now with cirrhosis of the liver, stage 4. Because I drank too much.
Yeah. I did the first 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really realize I had a problem with it till probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a problem, like, let me go a couple shows, but just not drinking it as much. You know what I mean? Like, I felt myself like, man, drinking 5, 6, 7 drinks of Wild Turkey 101 mixed with Sprite or Coke a night and just feeling normal. And I was like, I got to slow this shit down. That's not good. So now I have 3 or 4 light mixed drinks. I tell the bartender just a touch of whiskey or bourbon and or a Sprite or whatever. And I said, I just want to taste it. I don't want to get drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way I've kind of done it. But some people would grab a hold of it. It did for me for a while. Bad, like every night. You know what I mean? But now I don't. Unless I might be working on a tractor or mowing grass or something and crack one of those simply spike punches or something like that, something cold, and every once in a while I'll grab a margarita or something. But I don't drink during the week, so I don't even keep it in my house hardly ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't drink a lot of beer.
See, I was everything.
Just got out of that. I drank so much beer growing up and in the Army and stuff, and now I can drink 2 of them, get a headache. I can't do it.
I was drinking. I was drinking everything.
Yeah, I'm not an everything guy. I'm like, if I'm at the tropics, I want a coconut rum drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm in Ireland, I want Irish whiskey. You know what I mean? If I'm in, I grew up in West Virginia. We're on the border of Kentucky right here. You know what I mean? I grew up in Bourbon Alley. So Wild Turkey, Maker's Mark's my thing. Jim Beam. I love bourbons. I'm not a big whiskey guy. I don't like Crown Royal. I can drink it, but I don't like it. I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
So I'm a bourbon guy. Like bourbon and a cigar every once in a while too. So I kind of doing that, but yeah, 100%. I think once I did that study or whatever, getting back to that,
Yeah.
I realized I was like, I talked to my wife and I was like, I'm in school, the band's doing good, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was making a living, and I was in school, got my degree because I, was welding before that, and I just wanted to do something different. Ended up going out playing, and we started picking up, and I was like, man, I'm just going to do it again for a hobby. I like playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And been writing, still keeping the notebook full of songs, just, so after school, I was like, we sat down and we're like, well, we got 2 kids, we got 3 now, we got to pay daycare for both of them, and we added up what I was making playing music and with my, what I get from the VA, and I was like, I'm doing okay. I said, and then I'll be home, like I can play, go out and play. I mean, I just did kind of like, shit, I can do this for a living,
Yeah.
So I go out and play acoustic gigs, solo, a couple times a week, make some money, then band would pick up good gigs on the weekend, and we just started growing from that. And then I was like, well, I want to record. I need to record some of these songs. So we went to the studio a few times here and there and tried to put some stuff out, and I just never got it. Never had a good producer. Didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I had good material, but just not the, making a record. Your producers, somebody who knows what they're doing and has made some good songs. A producer is a good producer is priceless. You know what I mean? So we were making headways, and I put out a live album, and it's a pretty solid little live album of us doing our thing. And we were, still doing, majority covers.
Yeah.
And just touring around North South Carolina, and started noticing more people singing, hey man, play that song Sweet Carolina, yours. Hey man, play that homegrown song, yours. Hey, you know what I mean? And then, when you going to record that? And I was like, I really need to start recording. Hey man, I was like, I don't know, it's a lot of money to do. And I was like, well, I got this email to be on NBC's The Voice.
Yeah.
From their talent scouts or whatever, and I deleted it. I didn't think nothing about it. I never watched that show or anything, and I was like, I'm not into that shit,
Yeah.
So the next season, got another email. We'd like you to come try out. We're offering you a private audition for The Voice or whatever. And I was like, I was sitting there, and I was like, I said, no thanks. I don't want to stand in line for a day to sing 45 seconds of a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being a smart ass. Like, I thought it was like some kind of spam shit. You know what I mean? But I was like, I was probably sitting there smoking and doing shit. And I got my email, checking my email, doing booking for the band. And I got an email like right back. And they called me.
Yeah.
And said, yeah, we'd like you to try it. I said, well, let me think about it. And they were like, all right, just let us know. So I asked around. I was like, should I go do this? Everybody's like, why not? I was like, I don't know. That's just not my bag of tea. You know what I mean? I don't watch those shows. I think they're cheesy. I think they're just, you know what I mean? So everybody, man, you'd be stupid not to do it. I said, well, all right. Everybody talked me into it. I said, I'll go to this audition. I'll get told no, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a good singer, and I know I'm a good songwriter. You know what I mean? I'm confident in what I do.
Yeah.
But it's like I was saying earlier, I just never thought I was the dude, you know what I mean? And I'm still not, obviously, but so popular, but we're growing and yeah, man, I've come farther with it than thought. Put out my first record, and through The Voice, I met a bunch of good people. My good friend Kaylin Garner was on there with me. He introduced me to my producer, Eric Torres, who's produced every song that we released.
Yeah.
And he's priceless, man. I didn't know how to make a record. I know how to write. I didn't know how to, we throw it together as a band. You know what I mean? But we were young. We were all young, learning. You know what I mean? To be creative as a band, that's a hard thing to do. And then you go through band members that quit and stuff like that. So I went down there and did my first EP and released it and sat back, and it streamed okay. We were still drawing it, so but just more and more people started singing songs off the record, and we were like, wow. And then we made the decision to hey man, we're not going to be a cover band anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to go push this shit, or we're not going to do nothing at all. And which I always wanted to do, man, because it was hard keeping up in them clubs because, man, we would learn a Luke Bryan song and we'd learn a Florida Georgia Line song, and God bless those guys, man. You know what I mean? They're mega stars and everything like that, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, man. It's not the music I wanted to play. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the jacked up truck movement or the braggadocious country boy shit.
Yeah.
And then acting like rap guys.
Yeah.
And then bringing, rappers in. And I love rap. I love Tupac. I love Biggie. I love him. I love Outkast. It's one of my favorite damn groups of all time. Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Love all that shit. Love R&B, soul music. Anthony Hamilton's one of my favorite. I crank Josie all the time. Boys to Men. I love that shit. I love all kind of music.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you're staying in that bubble of country music. What I personally think is country music, with rap and drum machines, and most of these artists are going out doing concerts, and they're not even half of them playing live.
Yeah.
It's a boy band show-a-rama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just more fans of the guys who go out like Cody Johnson and Randy Rodgers and Turnpike. And we just did a big show with Justin Moore. I was telling you about that.
Yep.
I was so impressed with him. Great band. Played live country music. I've got to do shows with Randy Wade. Did a show with Parker McCollum. I've opened for Aldean. The shit I never thought would happen. So everybody's like, man, when you gonna sign a big deal? I'm like, I do the Nashville. I go and write, and I write with a lot of dope ass writers, and I've wrote with got to write with Steele, Bob DePiro, Greenley Addington, Mike Walker. A bunch of these guys have huge songs, hits and stuff. Been blessed to do that, so I'm doing that part of it. And that's kind of behind the scenes that you don't see.
Yeah.
So I'm growing in that aspect as a songwriter. I get to write with some cool cats. I've had a pub deal offered, and I didn't end up going. It wasn't right, you know what I mean? And they were a beautiful company. It was Jody Williams songs, and man, he gave me a chance, brought me down, and put me with some great writers. So I'm forever thankful to that guy, man. And he's just an amazing person to take a nobody writer and like their stuff enough to stick them in some killer rooms. That there's been people there for 10 years that can't get in those rooms, and I just got really lucky and blessed.
Yeah.
And I'm not writing with them all on a constant basis, but I'm still in touch with them, and like I'm confident that, hey man, let's get it right. Love to, let's try to set one up,
Yeah.
So when I go down there, I'm at least writing with somebody. Yeah, I don't go down there enough to. I just don't dig Nashville. Nothing. It's just too crowded, dude.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not a city person at all. I don't like being in cities, and everybody's like, "Why don't you move to Nashville?" I just don't want to be around it, man. It's just too hectic with the tourism and the every Tom, Dick, and Harry who, has a dream, which is fine. Go. I tell young guys, go to Nashville. Go to Nashville.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my stars for my family situation when I got back. You know what I mean? I was in a custody battle for my oldest daughter around that time, and I'm not a deadbeat dad. I had stuff that I could have probably jumped on at a younger age with people talking to me about stuff, and I didn't know nothing about it, and was hesitant. I got offered stuff. They're like, "Move here, man, and we'll do a developmental deal or something like that." I didn't know anything about it, but I knew there was no money involved yet. Could have been, but I was like, I can't leave my kid, man. I'm not leaving my kid for that. So I just started trying to do what some of the artists that I look up to did. Randy Rodgers Band, Stoney LaRue, Turnpike Troubadours. Artists nowadays, Zach Bryan did it. He just wrote some songs that people dug, and it wasn't the norm for what Nashville wanted. Tower Childers is the same thing, and we've caught a little bit of that wind of people liking the more 90s country, or the more the more like country or stuff like like I said, what I consider to be country music. You know, a little bit of bluegrass is fine, a little bit of southern rock, a little bit of 90s, a little bit of Texas swing, a little bit of gospel, and you know, maybe a little rock and roll. But they tried it in the 70s. They started putting disco in it and shit. You know, and it sucked in, and now they're putting, and it's just like I said, it's a wave of phase, and it comes and goes. But that country music that people love, like the 90s and the Whalens and the Tyler Childers and stuff like that, that stays steady, man. People just love it on both sides. You know what I mean? We play for college crowds, kids that are 20, 21 years old, and we'll bust out. You know, we'll do a segment. I pay like homage to do a couple 90s songs. You know what I mean? Throw in our concert. You know, so we'll do, you know, I'm just shocked at, like, you do a Clint Black song and these 20-year-olds are singing along with Killing Time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they know every word to Zach Bryan. And then, you know, when we play our stuff, like, we start heavy with our stuff, and it's just been cool, man. We've gone a lot of places, and you're always starting to see people singing along and stuff. So no matter where we've been, to Texas, North Dakota, we went to New Mexico, there's people singing our songs. You know, we've got places with big crowds, and we've played with little ones. But it's always people knowing our stuff, and it's been pretty cool the past few years for that to happen to us. And I was like, man, I'm just shocked that anybody, you know what I mean? And it's more organic to build it that way. Yeah. It's a long, and sometimes it's a long, never-ending road for some artists. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, absolutely. You know, like artists like Ray Wiley Hubbard, you know, he didn't really hit his peak of popularity till the least couple of years, when he's like 60 years old. But he's always done the cool ass Ray Wiley Hubbard shit, and he always had his like cool group of fans. But most people didn't know who the fuck he was. Yeah, you know what I mean, Stapleton was the same way. Like, we all knew as songwriters, we all knew it's like, you know, from hearing this cat, like around the songwriter circle and around, like who is this cat? I've always been into that stuff that's like, you know, that I just think is great music. Turnpike's great music. Randy Rodgers is one of my favorite all-time band songwriters. They just write good, solid-ass country music, man. And they call it Texas Red-Dirt. So, you know, we've caught, you know, on a little bit down in Texas. We played down there a bunch. I love Texas. We made Spotify Texas Country Now playlist with our past 4 singles. And, you know, it's a slow crawl, but, man, we've had a lot of fun, and there's a lot of ups and downs to it, man. It's a struggle sometimes. Jody Messina wrote a song, or sang a song years back. It says, above the below and below the upper, stuck in the middle where money gets tight. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's so true, because you have to cross that line of being a 3-hour cover band or trying to just go do your own shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just not in this to go do that anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm either going to ride this out, or it's not going to work, but I'm still going to sit around somewhere in a local bar, and I'm going to play my songs, and if people don't like it and want to hear them, then fine, but I'm still going to do it. And I'm going to play the songs that I want to play, that I think are just great songs. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't mind doing those covers and throwing in and paying homage to those guys that, like, even now, I mean, there's artists out coming up now. I've got some buddies of mine, they were opening up for us, and now they're signed with a big booking agent. They're called Fox and Veed. I mean, they're such incredible musicians and young talent, man. And to see guys like that just take off like a rocket, like they should, man, proud of those boys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it happens like that, and sometimes it you know, you crawl, you know. But I had a buddy, Cam Marlowe, who's on The Voice with me, blew up. You know, Cam's huge right now, and man, just a great guy. Just an outstanding dude. And I knew it when I heard that cat sing. I was like, this kid is amazing, you know.
Now, you say like the genre, of like 80s and 90s. Yeah. You know, John Anderson, Randy Travis, because those are the bands that I even remember.
Dude, Randy Travis is one of the most underrated.
Jimmy
and
D.
I think Jimmy, Randy Travis, one of the most underrated of all time. I think Tracy Lawrence is underrated. We opened for him a few years back, man. One of the best bands I've ever seen in my life play. Like they were a musician's dream to watch.
John Michael Montgomery.
Tracy, yeah. Man, we did a show with one of my idols a few years back. We headlined the first weekend of a county fair up here in West Virginia, and man, we had a good turnout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to go to that fair all the time and watch. I've seen Kenny Chesney there, a bunch of artists, like up and coming Nashville guys, get to play that fair. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, it'd be cool one day to play that fair. You know, and you have those that's kind of cool moments. Like I dreamed of kind of playing this, and I know I'm not like where Kenny Chesney was with a record deal, but I'm still on the same stage by the work I've done. You know what I mean? By the music I put out, and not needing nobody to help get me to these places. And that's been a cool ride. It's just hope try to keep it growing. So I'm heading to Nashville on the 10th to record. We've released 3 or 4 songs this year. But the way the music industry is set up is just like you've got to keep pumping them out.
Yeah.
And so we're doing more like short EPs or singles than we were doing full length projects. And for it's too expensive because I'm paying for it myself.
Yeah.
B, it's too expensive and I'm paying for it myself. I want like I'll have songs like 50 songs I wrote or I'm constantly writing. A lot of songs keep getting put on the back burner because a new one take precedent. I like this song more than that.
Yeah.
So one of these days I want to sit down and what I'm thinking about doing is have you heard the Marfa tapes?
Not off the top of my head.
Miranda Lambert, Jack Ingram, and here we go again, brain fart. Anyway, there's 3 like great, Miranda Lambert and John Randall. This is John Randall and the other dude I said. So they released an album full of what we call work tapes. Yeah. So when you write a song, you sit there and rehearse a little bit, get it right, and you just sing it into your phone, and it's real raw, right?
Yeah.
But they released a full album of it that they spent down. I guess they went to Marfa, Texas, and had like a writer's retreat and sat down there and wrote like an album's worth of shit. You know what I mean? Just had a good ass session or whatever. It might have been multiple sessions that they were doing it. They just put it all together and put out this Marfa tapes. It's called Marfa tapes. It's the fucking best album that's been out in a long time. And it's them playing acoustic, singing into their phone. Miranda's just amazing. You know what I mean? It shows you how when you listen to a work tape of somebody, you're like, hey, that's damn good. You know what I mean? And like Miranda's just awesome. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna probably do one kind of like that. Maybe just more of an acoustic album, not as raw, but just like acoustic album of 10 songs, that haven't really got to push out and record yet.
Yeah.
So that's a project I'm working on because it's just less expensive for one thing, and I still get to because I can't ever make up my mind about which singles I want to release next. You know what I mean? I have the hardest time. Then I'll say, okay, these 2 I'm gonna do next. I'm definitely doing these 2 next. And by the time it gets time to record them, rolls around, and I get the money up and everything like that, I've already written 3 or 4 more than I wanted to. So I'm gonna release a little project like that, and I think it would go over good and show everybody the songwriting part of it because I'm proud of a lot of the stuff I've written. You know what I mean? I think I'm growing as a writer, and like I said, I don't write songs that I think, man, that's going to be a radio smash hit. But I do think some of them are definitely radio ready. You know what I mean? Like, I think some of them are just, I'm really proud of who I wrote them with and the response we've got from them when we play them live and when I put them out myself. It's way more than I ever thought. I used to be selling CDs in bars where we had to play, 2 nights in a row, 4 1-hour sets each night, cover and keep everybody dancing. I come from the old school shit, dude. You know what I mean? So to be here with, a couple songs just on Spotify alone are in the millions of streams. It's pretty cool. if it grows from that, I hope it does. You know what I mean? We just keep pushing it. But it's a it's a not a glamorous Tommy Lee story. You know, all the time. Pretty fun sometimes, but like not all the time. You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to party in a 15-passenger van in a trailer with 5 dudes. You know what I mean? Than it is to have a couple tour buses and a driver and all that shit like that. So people's like, man, what's it like out there on the road? I was like, it's fucking rough, bro. You gain weight, you lose weight. You know what I mean? You got to keep your weight body. You ever try to stay healthy?
You ever lived in a gym in a men's locker room with all the dirty laundry? That's what it smells like.
It smells like. Boy, I wrote a song not long ago because it was just kind of a funny tune that I put together, and I'm probably going to put it out. If I, it's one of those. It tells a story about where we're at.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because one night we played for a bunch of frat boys and college kids. Next night we played for a private biker party kind of thing.
Yeah.
A bunch of those biker guys were fans and want us to play one of their little private things, and we played it. But, they came up with the money, and it was cool. It was cool because they're all fans. They didn't hire just they hired me for being. They wanted us there. It was pretty cool. So, because every time anybody hires me for a party, I'm like, I don't play covers, right? I'm not your average party band, but they want us there. No, we want to hear your shit,
Yeah.
And I realized that that's something every artist does. You know what I mean? It's yeah, man, I'm looking forward to putting this new stuff out and hopefully get some shares on it and gain some more ground, get some more fans, and that way I can keep doing it.
So where, if the viewers are watching this, where can they, other than Spotify, is there any other places they can look?
I'm on every streaming platform, on Google, Amazon, Apple, whatever. We release music to a hub, and it releases to almost every streaming source there is out there.
So it's like,
and it's just,
so it's almost like podcasters or /Anchor or whatever.
Yeah. It's just yeah. We have to, you register BMI, your songs and everything like that, and then you find a hub like CD Baby or TuneCore. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. And
it's just a hub for your music, and they release it out to YouTube, to Spotify, Amazon, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's how you release music independently.
Yeah, and that's even how when I release these episodes.
And it's an independent world, man, and it's showing. It's like the main thing is to catch fire on social media, and that's where I suck. I'm not good at social media, so we will be putting out a bunch more content this year because I'm a musician, man. I like playing live on stage. I'm not a filmmaker. Yeah, and it's a different world now. You know what I mean?
Oh, it really is.
We're working on rehearsing and doing like I said, that live studio recording.
Yeah.
Us playing acoustic live and putting them out like that. I'm not going to do in my truck. Hey y'all, this is my next single. Check it out, and then lip singing over my own shit in a truck for every TikTok I make trying to put a song. I just think it's just fucking. We used to call it a certain word back in the day. Can't say it now.
Fucking cheesy.
It's another word for that.
Lame. Fucking shit. I it's probably a shitload of.
It's just a word. Just a word we can't say.
Oh, it's politically not correct anymore.
Yeah. Call something gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
faggot. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
gay.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm politically incorrect. I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you how it is. Again, if they don't like it, they don't like it. I got gay people that I know, but they don't hit on me because they know I'm not gay. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not a Peter Piper.
No, there's each group of people, no matter who they are, have assholes.
Oh. And
unfortunately, the assholes of each group give the other ones a bad name. You know what I mean? You watch so much Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. It's just one of their separating tools. They think like every gay person doesn't take gay joke well or whatever like that. Most of them are cool. I've heard most of my gay jokes from gay dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not like that. The people of the world like the people of the world. There's, I have a violinist that plays with me a lot, fiddle player, a really good friend of mine, Matt Bell. And he's one of the most outstanding musicians ever. And he leans towards the left and I lean towards the right. But we sit down and have conversations and pick on each other a little bit. But we still love each other's company and enjoy making music together. And we realize it's not that critical. And that's the world I focus on, stuff like that. I don't focus on.
No.
I can't get too mad at one side or the other, man. You know what I mean? I'm a pretty centered guy, and
we all got to have
like,
our own thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should be, be walking down the street with the person they care about and called a fucking faggot or anything. I don't think that's right. I don't think you should do that.
No.
But if a comedian says a fag joke and it's just a joke, it's just a fucking joke, man. You know what I mean? There's circumstances. You're not going to go down the street and yell the N-word, but how many black guys in the Army call us that every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how many black guys we joke around and tell black jokes too, and we're all laughing, dying laughing, and everybody got along. That's the world I focus on because I know that's the world I live in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the world I live in. Yeah. If I run into assholes and they start shit, which I'm not going to say the N-word anyway, but if I say something on stage and it offends people, then fucking leave.
Yeah.
Fucking leave. I'm not going to hear your crybaby bullshit, right?
No.
You know what I mean?
But if you say it one time,
because I play shows and gays and lesbians come all the time, and don't think I'm a bigot.
Yeah.
I don't dance on those issues, but I make fun of Bud Light because that was a dumbass move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's funny, and I'm like, it should piss women off that that dude made the can. I'm not going to call it a woman because it's not. I'm not buying any bullshit. I don't believe that way. But to me, the transgender movement don't have shit to do with gays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
If you put Ellen DeGeneres on that can, people would have still drunk Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the gay people know that shit.
Yeah.
Like the ones I know, they don't fucking buy into that bullshit either.
No.
So if they want to start their victimhood crybaby shit out of, I say there's two genders or whatever like that, then we're not going to reach common ground.
No.
But I ain't got to hate you that you do.
Yeah.
But you're not going to sit here and fucking call me names because I don't believe like you do. I'm not tolerating that shit. You go do you, and I'll be me. You leave me the fuck alone, I'll leave you the fuck alone. How about that?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you ain't going in the bathroom with my fucking daughters.
No.
I don't give a fuck. It ain't happening. You can make a law saying it can. I'll make a law saying it can't.
If that law lets them go in there, well, then I'm going to go in there with my daughter and make sure you don't do nothing. Bro.
You're not going to have dick and balls and swim and play soccer against my kids, my girls. It's not going to happen. You can stand on sideline like a bitch you want all you want to.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you do, but you ain't playing my kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Totally get it.
God bless them. Fuck them. I don't want no harm there. I love them, man.
Yeah.
Two of my good buddies on The Voice, man. They're a duo, one-up duo, man. Just two of the coolest cats you ever met. They're a gay couple.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome guys, talented guys, right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is, man. They are who they are. I am who I am. I ain't hating on nobody for that shit. But that transgender shit, playing sports against fucking little girls and shit, taking their trophies away so you can beat girls when you're a grown-ass man got dick and balls. I ain't for that, man. I don't give a fuck who fucking says anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a bigot. Then don't listen to my music if you don't want to. I'm not for cross-dressers at CMT Awards.
Yeah.
I ain't buying into that shit. Right? I'm not going to go on stage and say, fuck you, you're going to hell, you don't need to do that. I'm not saying that. You do whatever the fuck you want to. I'm saying you're not fucking going to the bathroom with my daughters and you're not playing fucking sports against them.
Yeah. No.
Over my dead fucking body will that happen.
Absolutely. Totally get it.
Well, it's a child who thinks that. No, it's a child whose mom and dad told them to fucking what to think. Children are fucking so vulnerable and fucking moldable at that age. Ain't no kid coming out 4 years old. I think I'm a girl.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's not happening. That's the parents doing it. and it's fucking wholeheartedly parent storm.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's you can't left wing, right wing, same evil bird. I try to stay right in the center. Common sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense has gone out the window with a lot of the generations. You know,
what's happened at the border could be solved if we just switch back to the fucking common sense laws we had before World War II, where Mexican migrants would come over and work and then go home because it was easy to get across the border in a controlled check. You were allowed to come in and work for a day. They didn't want to fucking stay here. Yeah. What they did, they made it where you can't hardly get through, and now you have to stay to keep fucking working.
Yeah.
And I say, if they want to work and come do the jobs in World War II, they want to go back to. They're not American. They don't want to fucking be here. They have to. A lot of them have to fucking stay working.
Yeah.
Or they're out running the cartels because Mexico ain't doing shit like that. I'm all for helping people, but we have to look at it in a different way. We can't just say, "Come on." It's not possible. I'm not saying people go, "Oh, well, fuck that, man." America's built on that. We was in the military. We have Mexican brothers, Puerto Rican brothers, black brothers, Jewish brothers, Irish brothers, dumbass redneck. We all fucking got along. It is very fucking possible.
Yeah.
Right? So, I'm not for anything but treating your brothers like you're supposed to be treated.
Yeah.
But there has to be a line drawn. There just has to be. Don't know why, because motherfuckers are assholes. That's why. Assholes ruin shit for everybody. So there has to be a line drawn. I don't doubt there's some dude out there with a mental fucking disorder that thinks he's a girl and probably would never harm a kid. I believe that's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I just know the fucking assholes are going to take advantage of it. And they fucking have and they fucking will. So you can't have that law.
Yeah.
Right? And if you look enough like a woman, who's going to fucking say anything to you anyway?
True.
Some people are so far gone they fucking believe that shit. You know what I mean? And they get everything changed. They look like a fucking dude or a chick. I ain't never seen them. You know what I mean? But anyway.
I get it. No, I get it. I get it.
You ain't dressing up looking like me with a wig and a skirt on going in the bathroom with my fucking kids. You just a fucking freak. And you need not be in there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just something's off in your fucking shit. You're done.
No.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You tell me what's that got to do with gay people? Not a fucking thing.
Yeah, at that point,
it's a bunch of fucking child molesters trying to make it fucking normal. Is all it is.
Yeah.
And I ain't buying into that shit, man. Like I said, there's got to be a line.
Yep.
I'm not an extremist. I don't give a fuck what religion you are. I don't give a fuck what God you worship. I don't give a fuck if you celebrate Christmas, fucking Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa. I don't give a shit what you do. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and say anything bad about anybody else.
Yeah.
But children shouldn't be fucked with.
No, they're innocent. They're innocent individuals.
And if a girl plays high school baseball, or volleyball, or swimming all her life, and gets a scholarship, gets a chance to win the fucking world title, and gets it taken away by a fucking 6'3" fucking grown man,
there's something wrong.
I ain't down with that shit. I'm just not down with that shit.
Yeah.
This is not cool to me, man.
No.
And I know tons of lesbians and gays that fucking feel the exact same way I do. So I think the line is clearly being crossed.
Yeah.
And I think it's an evil. I think it's an evil deity. I think it happened in Rome. We can go on back to that shit. It's an evil deity, and that comes down to God and the devil.
Yeah. No.
And if you can't see that as what it is, then I can't help you. God help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know morally, I'm not standing for it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm
not going to stand for it, and I'm not going to allow it.
That's why I'll say too. It wasn't an insurrection on January 6th. Because an insurrection, the building would have been burned down.
Yeah, it would have.
Because I know people, it's redneck and shit. When you start pissing motherfuckers off, like me, who just want to be left the fuck alone. Joe Rogan's even said this. You're going to start pissing the boys off that just want to be left the fuck alone. And that's when you're going to have the fucking insurrection on your goddamn hands.
Yeah.
And God help us, that never comes.
Yeah.
And I'm praying because I don't want that to happen. We've been through war. And man, people think talking this shit want to go to Civil War and stuff. And you can't go to Starbucks after, right?
Yeah.
Once that first bullet flies, you ain't going back to your regular life.
You're not going out to eat. You're not going to a shopping mall.
The shit's at your front door where your kids play.
Yep.
And I think people on both sides, a bunch of fucking dumb rednecks and a bunch of fucking dumb liberals, think that try to get this thing charging. I can't. It's down to 10%. I can't see if it's charging or not. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the line's got to be drawn. I mean, but I think it's taking the swing back. I think common sense. I think people like that there's so many people switching sides now, and not necessarily for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be wholehearted. I'd rather vote for RFK than either one of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm going to vote Donald Trump. I think they're just doing him so fucking dirty, man. I mean, it's blatant obvious that it's fucking it's Rome, dude. It's fucking Rome. And that's how Rome fell. That's how Rome fucking fell. And it's fucking scary. People don't read history, bro.
No. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people are trying to rewrite history and remove stuff out of history that, people don't realize. You're removing the wrong stuff because it's showing a pattern of what is happening.
I feel so sorry for the leftists, like the Antifa guys, and I don't doubt that they have some members that know a little bit about something.
Yeah.
But the majority of them are fucking kids that won trophies and never got fucking spanked, and think they're changing the world, and they're just going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just they don't stand a chance. You're not Al Qaeda, motherfuckers. You are not hard as nails.
No.
See, that's why I don't really fear the socialist movement so far yet, because the ones behind it are the weakest ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I fear the motherfucker that rallies the power of it. But most of them, they didn't grow up hard. See, in the Nazi generation, when that socialist movement took over, which is what Antifa is, it's fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
They just try to trade off and call everybody else Nazis, but they're the fucking Nazis. But the people following Hitler were men from hardened fucking times.
Yep.
And blamed their hard times on another race.
Yep.
Which was sad, but fucking common back in them days. Between everybody.
Yep.
Right? A lot of European countries hate other European countries for their religion and shit. It was just a thing back then.
Yep.
It's fucking sad.
Yeah.
But who the fuck does any socialist got over here that's going to follow them? A bunch of weak-ass fucking dyed-haired pussies and fat bitches? Right? You can get as violent as you want to, but in order to be successful in violence, you have to learn how to be violent.
Yeah. And
you have to be hardened by the violence. And when you're hardened by the violence, it makes you a dangerous motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for that side, actually thinking, I don't want a civil war, but I feel sorry for them actually fucking thinking that they'd have a shot in fucking hell at winning one.
Yeah, they won't.
You could have a lot of money. You could have all the money behind you in the fucking world. If you got a bunch of fucking cowards, it doesn't do you any good. Saddam Hussein proved that nobody wanted to fight for him. They lost so quick.
Yep.
So I'm saying nobody wanted to fight. So
yep. No,
I'm not too worried about that right now. But I'm telling you right now, when they call the UN in for some bullshit like that, then he might have to start popping his blue helmets, because I ain't playing that shit.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? And it's sad to think about it. I don't want to think about that shit, but my mind does go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in case, motherfuckers. And I don't know if that's the veteran in me or just I see reality happening. You know what I mean?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I don't want my kids to see that shit. You know what I mean? I don't want them to ever feel fear of driving down the street, or how are we going to get this place without getting, something happen to us. Or, I mean, it's awful. We've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen what that tribalism does over there, and that when the fucking assholes take over, and you know what I mean? And it's scary. People over there in Iraq, man, like the civilians that just want to live their life, man, they were scared to death.
Yeah. Not knowing what's going to be around the corner.
But he fucking disarmed them and turned the fucking military against them and shit like that. I don't fear that in the U.S. because the military is made up of people like me and you for the most part. I think there would be probably a split, but I think for the majority, I mean, hell, when he's over in Iraq, 98% of veterans, 98% of troops voted for Bush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still made up, you know, the thing about our military is made up of poor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But most of our poor are hardworking, decent folks who believe in the American value for the most part. You know what I mean? So we joined the military for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think our military's made up of too many true patriots to ever
allow it to
happen. I can see police forces in cities doing that for the mayors and shit like that, people, and you're seeing it happen. Cops can't do shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like I said, they use that for chaos. But yeah, I don't see our military ever doing that. Not in my lifetime. I'm not saying it can't happen because we've seen it happen. But who's going to rise up? What kind of hardened men are going to rise up? It ain't going to be the fuckers in Antifa.
No.
Marching for Palestine for gays. What the fuck does that? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Just the common sense. It's like I said. Can we have common sense? I mean, just common sense, dude. I mean,
it's out the door.
I'm sitting here right in the center when I hear fucking redneck boys, fucking faggots, fucking motherfuckers, shoot me. I said, wow, it don't fucking bother you. Or they're not living, you know, well, I don't want to, you know, dude, it is what it is. Like, open your fucking mind a little bit, but there's lines, you know what I mean? There's fucking lines. I'm right there with you. I tell you, I don't like that racism bullshit. I don't think none of us do.
No.
You know, I don't know anybody that's blatantly, I mean, we all know the dumb rednecks that talk like that, but most of my friends that grew up with, we were all fucking poor. We had a couple black kids that went to school with us, and everybody just hung around them. You know what I mean? It wasn't no fucking difference. You know what I'm saying? When I moved to Carolina, man, like, you know, we didn't have a lot of blacks up in West Virginia. We had a few, and they were my buddies, you know, but like, went to church with people, and you know what I'm saying? We always had friends. It wasn't a thing, dude. We all kind of grew up the same, so it wasn't like, I didn't experience like that. You know, I moved to Carolina, and, you know, it was around a lot more black people in that school and stuff like that. And a fucking ton of good friends, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had our stereotypes we make fun of each other for, and everybody just laughed, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Every once in a while, a redneck and a black boy would fight over some dumb shit, you know what I mean? But it wasn't that bad. It was in the South, too, man. Everybody got along for the most part where you know what I mean? I didn't see all this shit. It wasn't a thing. When I was in the Army, it wasn't a thing, man. Everybody just fucking got along, dude. It wasn't, I mean, like I said, everybody was comfortable with each other. Like, my best friend in basic was black. You know, and the room was a fucking Mexican and a guy from Egypt. You know what I mean? It was like we all just learned about each other, man. That's cool. You know?
Yep.
Mexican Chicano from Chicago or from he was out in California, man. He was definitely like an SA. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Yeah, bro. You know, hey, homie. You know, he was like, so it was. I was like, God damn, I've seen that in movies, but you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But that dude was like into building like custom lowriders and shit. Like Uncle owned a shop out in LA and shit. And he showed me pictures. He's a fucking cool ass dude, man. He was just like me. He just grew up in a different fucking neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I try to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't focus on that negative shit. When I'm down south, man, I'm at a grocery store and shit like that. I open the door for a couple black ladies, you know, and they're just as friendly, and I'm just as friendly to them, and everybody's nice to each other. Where I in my world, I don't let that other shit creep in, man.
No, I'm the same way. I open the door and I'm like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, here you go. You know, they say, oh, thank you. And it's like, it's just treating people with dignity and respect. You know, it's
I think, you know, and they, like I said, that's their weapon, dude. They wanted to separate that shit. And I think most people don't buy it.
Yeah.
You got your groups, and it's like I said, it's just the news, and you can make anything look like anything with a camera. You know? And you can report any story you want, get a bunch of people riled up without knowing the full truth. And get everybody hating each other, but it's still not everybody.
Yeah. Nope. Absolutely. Before we end this, because I know we've been going on, is, you know, what's next for you? What is like I said, in your music?
I'm just writing and recording, man. I'm following. I said I'm gonna work on that
So, what's next for you guys? What's next for you? I know you were saying you got some new releases and everything, but you
Yeah.
know,
That man, like I said, I'm actively looking for, a little higher up management than what we've had. And, I've been in talks with a couple guys right now, trying to find the right fit for that. And, hopefully, we're going to, we're looking to get on with a bigger booking agency, you know what I mean? And,
yeah,
and, make that jump right there to the bigger booking agency. I feel like we got some market value now, and, it would be a lot easier on me to do that. And, like I said, we just opened up for Justin Moore the other night. We've done some big shows. I've got to open up for Randy, Wade Bowen, I'd open up for Parker McCollum and a bunch of, the Texas guys and Josh Ward and stuff. And
yeah,
we're down there cranking up some shows, but just trying to get the bigger venues rolling in for us down there, because we played the small ones and pretty big ones. We got to open for a few people down there at some cool places like Fry High Country Store and Buck's Backyard in Texas. And, looking to get in like Floor's Country Store and just keep that Texas thing going, man. We seem to be, well received down there. We've been traveling back and forth down there for about 3 years now.
yeah,
And definitely a fun time. And then we make our way up to the Midwestern, like Dakotas and stuff. We've been out there several times and always been well received. And so just getting on the road a little bit more once we content. We're putting out new music, and we're going to do out like live studio performance content stuff. I'm should be filming Radio W. We released the Irish Road on again, and it did really good for his YouTube channel. He's the one that blew up. My buddy Dave Draven Wright started that channel, and has blown several good artists out. Like he Oliver Anthony being the big one, and then there's a couple other guys that are doing really well touring and stuff from their success off that channel. Plan on doing stuff like that with him and a couple others that's got their YouTube channels out, and just getting more of our content in our face out there. My face, not a great face, but it's the one I got chosen for.
What's the name of that podcast?
Which podcast?
You said the Dragon Rant or your friend's podcast?
No, it's it's a YouTube music channel. It's not a podcast. It's called Radio W or W Radio.
W Radio.
The Oliver
Okay.
Anthony song. Oliver Anthony.
Yeah,
that was released on W Radio, my buddy's YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I know that. Okay, now I know what that one is. Okay.
And he blew up. And Charles Wesley Godwin was also on that channel. He's blown up. You know what I mean? So I've been friends with Draven since. I mean, we were, I think, fishing one time, and he came up with that idea that he wanted to do it. I was actually the first video on that channel.
Yeah.
And I've got several up there, and we just released my song Irish Road, which is about my tour in Iraq, kind of, man, we released it and just overwhelmed with like people. There's been several little videos out there, but just being on his channel and again where he's had some success with it and stuff like that, that song's really taken off for us. So we're going to record, I think, another one this week. I got a song, what we're planning on doing. Hopefully it works out. We'll see, but we're planning on shooting one this week. Another song I've written and released called Broken Heart, because I've got a good friend of mine coming up playing with me this weekend. Her name's Kelsey Hurley, an amazing singer. Yeah. So I was going to release one on W Radio of that song if it works out this week to do it. And just like I said, more content and more cities, and hopefully we'll get to tag along some like bigger artists like Justin Moore in the future. Get on those bigger shows, which we've been lucky enough to get on the past couple years. And Rose thing, man, and still stay. I'd sign the right record deal. But I just want to be able to have artistic control of what I'm doing. I want I want to make enough fans where the record labels are like, man, we can do something with you. So hopefully, I'm not saying, dude, I've recorded other people's songs that singer songwriter friends of mine. I think it's a dope song. I don't write. I've recorded like 2 songs that I didn't write. One Thickety Mountain, one called In Came You, and both songs have done well for me. And so I'm not above like that part of it. I'm not going to change to a more modern style of music to sell records. I just you know what I mean. I want it to sound like what I'm doing. You know what I mean. And so, you know, there's artists out there making headway. So we're just trying to catch that wind of everybody listening to independent music, man. It's really been cool for the past couple of years. It's got me farther than what I thought could be possible as far as, you know, now I see a possibility of, hey man, this is working, you know what I mean? So let's get out there, and hopefully you know, some days you feel like you're not doing it very good, and certain days you feel like you can't lose. So, you know, just keep struggling. I think like I said, it's kind of cliche to say, but they always say it's the climb, you know what I mean? So like I said, I don't want to ever be, you know, if I could get to where I'm like Randy Rodgers and Wade Bowen status, you know, like being able to, you know, just they created their own brand, their own stuff on their own terms, man. I don't think that's cool. I think anybody with passion for what they do, that's the best you can strive for, you know. Being a Morgan Wallen's great, you know. I don't know if I'd ever want to be that famous, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it. So it's a weird thing. It's not for everybody, and a lot of people's like, yeah you would. I mean, I'd love people to love my music that much that I'm playing for fucking millions, you know what I mean? That's definitely a dope thing. I don't think there's a musician out there that wants that, but man, I also like just being normal. You know what I mean? So I like going into a restaurant and eating with my friends. I've seen those stars get just hounded, can't even get a meal down. You know what I mean? It's just, that'd be a little rough, man, and not come out like, hey man, I'll get the fuck away from me, and then, oh, he's an asshole, you know? It's just, people are weird to people when they get a little fame to them, man. It's
totally agree with that. You know,
man, and some know how to handle it. I just hope if it ever comes from me, I've learned enough over the years to handle it with grace, like a Dolly Parton, like a, you know what I mean, like an Alan Jackson, and you never hear nothing bad about them, like they're, you know, and you know, neither one of them can probably walk in anywhere and not be recognized, you know what I mean? But they seem to handle it with grace and style. If that ever happened to me, which, you know, highly unlikely, but like, you know what I mean, I'd hope I'd handle that. You know what I mean? Just be a humble dude and not get too big headed and still love the art of it and appreciate the people around me I get to play with. Like, you know, Chris Stapleton, I think, gets to do the coolest life ever. He gets to play with all his fucking heroes and shit. You know what I mean? That'd be a cool thing to have experience. I'd rather have that than a fucking Oscar or whatever music awards they have. I'd rather have that kind of killer going on, man. I've got it, dude. I've got to you know, meet some of my idols at Marty Rayburn from Shenandoah. You know, Randy and I are the same age, but Randy Rodgers, man, I looked up to the way he did stuff in Texas and his sound, and I think he's a great artist, dude. And I've got to hang out with him on his bus a little bit. You know, I'm not calling him every day or anything like that, but he was just a nice guy, man. And we did a show. It was a cool experience, man. And same with Wade Bowen, man. Actually gave Wade a jar of moonshine, and we hung out and talked a little bit. Just very approachable guys and very, like, you know, very good music. And no, they're not Luke Bryan, but man, they've got to me, they've got it down. You know what I mean? They tour all over and play. Might not be selling out stadiums everywhere, but they still packing theaters, and it's a cool. That'd be cool for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And luckily, over the past couple of years, we've got to experience some of that, and hopefully, it just grows for the future. And killing bigger bucks. That's definitely in the future.
Yep.
For me. I cannot wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I really appreciate you coming out here and talking.
Oh man, I had a blast, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry, but I'm sorry about the other day, man. It's
dude, it's
life got in the way.
Hey, it's life. It's life. Life is life, and I'll tell you, you know what? Family comes first. It don't matter what it is.
Yeah, man. He's doing good. He actually drove yesterday. I tell everybody, my father had a stroke. Pretty bad stroke, about a month and a half, 2 months back, and we got him home. He's walking, still not talking great. But he drove his truck the other day, went out and visited some friends, and man, it was a hard month. But you know, he's a tank, man. What can I say? He's a tank.
Nothing can take him down. He's
old stubborn ass in there. So I appreciate you understanding that, man, because it just, we had that rehab, man. They worked him out for 3 hours, boy. Them girls down at the rehab place, boy, they put him to work, and he's working his butt off, man. You can tell, man. He don't like being like that. You know, he rides Harleys everywhere and does everything on his own. He's kind of a gypsy soul, and I think that's where I get it from. He likes to ride his Harley cross country and stuff. So hopefully he'll get back on it soon. He drove his truck the other day. It's only been like 2 months, so it's a good sign.
Well, keep at it, and again, let's stay in touch, and
absolutely, man. Appreciate you having me on, brother.
Hey,
appreciate
not a problem. Hey, listen, it's family, it's military, it's it's a band of brothers and stuff. So,
well, I have to come up there, and I have to come up to Mass one time. I'd love to kill a whitetail in every state you can kill a whitetail. I kind of have that goal. I've got to kill 2 more turkeys. I've got to kill 2 more turkeys I got to kill a Miriam in the Osceola, but I've got my Rio, my Eastern, and I definitely want to elk hunt. I've always wanted to do a caribou hunt in Alaska, and I always want to do that with a recurve. So that's a bucket list goal of mine. I want to kill a caribou with a recurve in Alaska. I don't know why. I think pictures of Chuck Adams I seen when I was a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I've been more infatuated with that hunt than I ever have with elk or anything else. Just that.
I'm fascinated with all of it. It's like
me too. Oh yeah, me too.
Anything. Sure. It's like, but Alaska's it's no joke. It's nice up there.
I don't have any desire for polar bear, and I really don't have any desire for grizzly, or Alaskan brown bear. I don't know why. I do bear hunt, black bear hunt.
Yeah.
And I think it's more or less, I don't know about polar bear, but I know grizzly bears, like coastal bears, they're just not good to eat, right? And I know it's still conservation. I know, mature boars, and you have to control the population because they just don't have any predators. So, man is, hunting is conservation, and I'm, you know what I mean? I know the deal, but I'm not saying I turned down a free hunt, but that ain't something I'm going to save up for. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to kill that bull elk, and I want to go kill a moose, and I definitely want to kill caribou, and I like to kill, antelope.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to kill some axes. But it's all, I've had all that to eat. It's great. You know what I mean? Black bear's good, really good. So to me, I'm more connected to it from that aspect. So I don't really have a desire to kill anything.
If it's something that I don't want to eat, or I don't like, then I'm not going to kill it. Because
like I've heard mountain lions. I've heard mountain lions amazing, and if I was somewhere and I had a mountain lion tag and one came by me in a natural setting and I could take it with a bow, I'd shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to go dog hunting for mountain lions.
Yeah.
They dog hunt for deer in Carolinas and the East Coast stuff. And the way I don't have a problem with dog hunting. I have a problem with how long the season is.
Yeah.
They run them from October 15th to December 31st. Through pre-rut, rut, post-rut, secondary rut, all the way through, and then it's just it's crossing too many barrier lines. Like, people don't have big bass much property anymore, so they'll run them on 140-acre farm and they'll run through your shit.
Yeah,
and you can't do nothing about it. They can't technically come shoot the deer on there, but the dogs come run it off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And you go put food crops in or whatever. You got your little. You've worked your butt off, and you say for your 40 acres, and somebody's got a right to run his fucking dogs right through it. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. That's the aspect. But I understand what it's like. There's houndsmen, they love to run hounds. Yeah. It's a tradition. I just think they ought to do it in December.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let the bucks have a time, but that's my state. That's Carolina and Virginia. But like I said, that's where I stand on that. But so yeah, I would shoot a. I could have shot a bobcat last year and didn't do it.
Yeah, I think we got a mountain lion out here, but people have said they caught it on their cameras, but I have yet to see one. But
Hard to tell.
you know,
I think they roam the Appalachians a lot more than what people think they do.
yeah,
You know what I mean? A big cat can a big cat, like big cats, like they need a lot of territory,
yeah,
right? So seeing one in an area where they're not usually seen is not really an odd thing.
yeah,
I mean, dude, I've spent years in the woods. I've only seen one or two bobcats in the wild.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not a thing that happens. And I think that, you know, like Colorado, certain places have concentrations of them,
mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's far-fetched that they're in the Appalachians. You know,
yeah,
we've seen prints. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not, I mean, we don't have a lot of black bear in this county that I'm in, but we have some, and I've never seen one my whole life, but I've got 2 or 3 on game camera.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Never seen one my whole life here. Always heard people tell tales that they seen one, and now I'm starting to get them on cameras more, but I've still never seen one in the woods. I've been to Pennsylvania a bunch, and I see one, if not 2, every time I'm in the woods up there.
yeah,
This last year was the first time in that week, because I go for a week at a time. First time in 5 years going there that I didn't see a black bear. They're just concentrated more on something. I mean, you can go to mountains, West Virginia, there's a ton up there, but these counties right here, there's just not a lot, but there are some.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
so I think that's totally possible with the cat.
Yeah,
Totally possible. I don't doubt it a bit. Now the Black Panther story thing, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, but
yeah,
who knows?
yeah. Who knows?
There might be Bigfoot, buddy. I don't know either. I hope I never fucking see one if there is. Could you fucking imagine the mind fuck of walking through the woods and looking up and see a 10-foot tall fucking bushman? No, sir.
No,
Look, I don't. Yeah,
I think I'll probably shit my pants.
Yeah, I mean, because you're seeing something that don't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why it's hard to believe these motherfuckers. So I think I probably wouldn't tell nobody. I wouldn't tell someone. Nobody fucking believe you.
no, true. I mean, unless you got a GoPro camera on and you got it on a camera, but
Even then, they ain't gonna believe you.
true, probably.
There's videos, all kind of shit out there. Some of them you can tell are fake, but every one I see, I'm like, that's fake as fuck, right? I've seen a few that I'm like, the dash cam footage of that police car out in Washington or something.
Yeah,
I don't know how that could be faked. What he saw, but you don't see. You have to Google it. It's like dash cam footage of Bigfoot. There's a cop driving,
yeah,
and it could be a complete setup. But goddamn, if it don't look like a big hairy man running, I mean, so fast, like man can't run that fast. Like what the fuck was that?
well, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, so that's the only footage I've seen. I'm like, that's pretty goddamn creepy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like some other videos, I'm like, that don't make no sense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know. I just hope I never seen one.
yeah, me
I don't.
either.
I mean, I don't mind seeing a mountain lion. I don't want to ever walk up. I've come closer than black bear. You talking about shit in your pants?
Yeah. Oh,
Every fucking time, dude. I've got video of me. I had to shoot at one coming up a tree.
I mean, it's like the paw of, it's like it covers my face.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, but most black bears, man, they hear and smell you. You'll never see them. But if you hunt enough, you're going to bump one.
Yeah.
Right? And 99.9999% of the time, they will haul ass running. They're so scared. Right?
Yeah.
But I've also had one trying to climb a fucking tree.
I've
After me. He wasn't after me.
I've seen
I was hollering at him. I was hollering at him, and he was at the base of my tree, and he was like putting his claws on, like he was a young male. I think it was a young male, curious bear. Like, and they don't see real well. So I'm up in a tree in camouflage. He's like, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
And he keeps trying to come. So finally I shoot at him, like at his feet. And he finally trots off a little bit
Yeah.
and gets gets to where he can get a big whiff of me, and takes off running. So you know what I mean? Like my scent scared him more than the fucking bullet did, because he wasn't. I guess he just wasn't fucking catching my thermals or something. I don't know. Like, but yeah, dude, I got that on video, and I'm like, fuck, my butthole was puckered. You know what I mean? But I carry my sidearm in every time I'm bow hunting in the big woods. You know, PA or Carolinas. We've got big bear, dude. Yeah. Carolina's got some huge black bear, and I'm back in there in the swamps deer hunting and stuff. We've got big bear, dude. Yeah. Carolina's got some huge black bear, and I'm back in there in the swamps deer hunting and stuff. I'm cautious. I'm not terrified. Like, I'm terrified of grizzly bears. Yeah. Like, I've never even seen one, and they terrify the shit out of them. Because they're just more grizzly bear attacks on humans than there is black bear attacks.
Yeah.
It is just a, especially in areas like Montana where they can't hunt them and control them, and like there's like a ton of attacks up there, man. It's like, man, you're out there sneaking around, you're trying to be quiet, or you're making an elk bugle and shit like that, and you're just gonna bump one. And sometimes them fuckers don't run, bro. You know, they charge a lot of the time. That shit is terrifying, bro. No, I'd still go. You know, I'd still go, but that shit is terrifying.
Oh no,
black bears. I mean, it still puckers you because you can get an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can run up on a mom and her cubs, especially during turkey season and when I know the cubs are out.
Yep.
But dude, I shot one with cubs in PA. I didn't see the cubs. I shot her. Luckily, I missed her. But the cubs came under my tree and stood there. She was down over the hill trying to catch whatever wind. She didn't know what happened, right? Yeah. And dude, I didn't have my pistol with me, and I was like 1,600 yards from the truck, and the cubs were at my damn feet, and I was like, please don't climb this tree. I have no way. But I was hunting this thicket, so my back was to the thicket. She worked the edge of that thicket, and she ran over the hill about 70 yards, and left the cubs up there, and they started crying out for her. She slowly started moving up, and they saw her and run to her.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Dude, I had an air knocked and ready, shaking like a fucking leaf on a tree. because the cubs were right there. I knew I was vulnerable. I knew if they climbed above me, I was screwed.
Yeah. No, they're absolutely.
Well, I already made a plan. If they started climbing, I was going to climb down. I was going to climb down and just fucking haul ass. I was going to jump out and haul ass and try to get away from them. Like, let her get to the cubs before me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was down the hill. I'd already made that decision, dude. I was like, that's the only thing I got to do. If they start climbing, I'll just get out.
Yeah.
And
run. No, absolutely. But
I don't know if that'd work, because they closed 80 yards and a lot bigger difference if you can jump out a tree and get running. Yeah. But that's the only option I had.
You don't know.
I was going, if she charged, I was going to try to stick her with an arrow. But like, dude, I was panicking for a good 30, 40 minutes before they finally left. Yeah. And then, see, the one that tried to climb the tree, I wasn't that scared because I knew I could cap him in the head with that 40.
Yeah.
For the most part. You know what I mean? I figured I could probably get a shot at him if he tried climbing that tree. I was going to get a clip in his ass, you know?
Yeah.
And luckily he ran off. But yeah, I've had some close ones. Yep. I've been walking in the dark in the mornings and hear one crash, and that split second that you got to decipher if it's coming towards you or away from you, or running away from you. Most of the time, it's running away from you.
Yeah.
Because they'll make a crash if they're in a thicket. They'll make a crash. It ain't no deer making that crash. Yep. Bears just run over shit, right? Deers kind of leap and bound it, you know. Yeah. So I've had that happen several times, and boy, if you got to take a deep breath. Ooh, you know, like I said, when I'm in scouting, I just make a bunch of noise and I don't worry about them. I mean, if you're making noise, black bear ain't coming nowhere near you.
No,
you know?
No, it's usually not. But
if you're making noise and one starts coming toward you, you might as well start shooting at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna end it for the night, and we can definitely pick up again another day.
Absolutely. Again, have fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And
anytime I get to talk about that's everybody said, let's talk about you, and then we'll get on hunting and stuff. I'm like, I can talk about hunting. I don't like myself, but I like hunting. I'm not that interesting of a person musically. No, man, I appreciate you having me on, and anybody listening, it's just Mikele Buck Band at Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, wherever you get your word, MichealBuckBand.com. which my website needs updated a little bit, but my girl doing it just had a baby, so I've got to get her to update some stuff and on it. But I'm hoping to get a new merch store up soon. I was not happy with the one I had, so we make some new directions that way. Get a merch store up so you can get a hat and a shirt or whatever. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a computer guy. That's where I like as far as just band goes. Like I'm more of like the logistics. We tour around. There's a lightning bug on my desk. Tour around and do the best I can with that. So I got people helping me out and putting more content, make sure the tour schedule's up to date on the websites and everything. Like I said, we're totally independent. Don't have anybody doing that shit for me. So it's when you're doing it all and you get busy like we do, it's a hell of a keep up. That's why we're looking for management teams and stuff like that now, because we're just at a point where we need them. So and you know, I've talked to several and turned down several too, because I just didn't feel like it was a good fit. But I'm probably a little bit too picky in that area. A lot of people tell me I am, but
hey, listen,
you got to trust people. You got to trust people you're working with, man. So
you got to.
And it's but I appreciate it, man. And look forward to talking to you again, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Hey, take it easy, and I'm gonna have Beavis and Butthead just take it away from us and let us know what they think on that. All right, we'll catch you guys later.
All right, bro.